Hello, welcome. It's Susan Taylor Shire, Treasure Chest Tuesday, Soul Mastery. Those are your key words today. And we have a number of themes to work with. And the key is that we are abiding in our truth. What does that mean to abide in your truth? What is true for you? That's all about sovereign power, isn't it? But there are ways to get there that I want to introduce to you today. So, my guides gave me this word this morning, abide. Abide. I love that word. It takes me right into a deep place within myself that is unconquerable. It just exists, and I can abide there. But how do we go from where we are emotionally to that place of abiding? That is the key. So, one of the things in the broader context I'm very aware of before we go into that key that has also come to me is that this time of abiding, more so than ever in our quietness and space, when we're not overwhelmed with all the million things we want to and think we need to read, get information about, etc. When we're in that abiding place, we start to have all sorts of creative ideas and insights and perspectives that are so important to the world we're building at this time, from the inside out. So, one of the things that came to me was not only are we giving the planet a time to rest, because we've heard of many stories of more birds coming out, dolphins in the Venice canals in Italy showing up, you name it. There's just a pristine nature in the air that heralds in that sense of quietness and abiding, nature getting to abide more. Isn't that beautiful? So not only are we at this time cleaning up the outer pollution and the use of pollutants, but it's a very important time to increase our, because I know you're all doing it anyway, increase our release of the emotional pollutants. That's the fear, the anger, the unnecessary grief, the sense of shutdown, all of that I've talked about and many are talking about. This also allows us to clean up the atmosphere, because the atmosphere of pollution is not just physically generated. It relates to our emotional realm of generation. Fear is in the airways. Fear is an energy. It's an airwave, and it has an impact on nature, on the global crisis of climate change, you name it. It makes a difference. What we feel makes a difference to our earth. We know that theoretically, but to put the two together is so important, because it really is a time for us to clean up our act, so to speak, from the inside. And if you think of it in terms of, wow, this is a contribution to climate change, to my earth, just by naturally going in and doing the deeper work that is up for us right now, then that is key to our ability to abide in deeper places and get more of the insights of what's true for us from this moment forward, individually and collectively. You see what I mean? So see that there is purpose for these things coming up. And don't just sit in fear because that's the natural state to be in right now, or anger about the fact that we're in isolation. If you just sit in that, you're not doing anything for yourself, your immune system, your health, the health of the planet, by shifting it and working with it and being with it, abiding with it, coming to the place of deeper abiding. In the truer sense of you, that's what's making a difference. Okay, so how are we going to do that? So one key is, what is it that you're having to live without? What are you missing? You could see it either way. What are you having to live without, does it feel like for you? Or what do you feel you're missing right now? So put some attention on that, make a list, put a pause to the video, take a minute and just make a list of what you are missing. And think of a few things or 100 things, but let's start with a few things. Let me give you an examples of what that might look like and how we can make the most of that and take ourselves to a place of deeper abiding because we look at what we're missing instead of just sitting there going, oh, I miss this and I miss that and all of that. That's not going to get us to the bridge to the other side, to the new arena we're moving to, which is what we have to keep our eyes on, the bigger perspective. Okay, so I was feeling like I miss sailing. We can't go out sailing right now because of physical distancing, etc., etc. So a sailor friend of mine wrote me a text and said, so what I'm doing is I'm watching sailing videos and putting a fan on in front of my TV so I feel like I'm there. I thought, that's great. Another thing that people are missing is going to school. Being in a creative atmosphere, and of course, I guess they're saying that certain colleges and things like that will be online next fall. And so there's a feeling of sense of missing camaraderie. Now, we also feel, many of us, that we're missing physical contact with people. So these are the kinds of things you can look at. Solutions, coming up with creative solutions and deeper abiding. So let's just talk about the fact that we all miss being with friends and family more. Yes, we have Zoom. Yes, we have Skype. Yes, we have FaceTime. But the key is when you miss being with someone or a group of someone's, we have this access point through the internet to do that. But what are you doing with it? Are you going into that deep heart and soul connection with that person? So you really get fed. You really get that oxytocin, that nurturing, that physical touch and physical proximity gives you. You can get that through looking deeply in another person's eyes and offering appreciation. By being with them heart to heart and not just gabbing away about the virus, but really be with them. Be honest, abide with them, and say, I really miss you. I just want to take a moment to feel like I'm virtually hugging you by just being with you deeply. We can do those things. Just like I can go sailing by looking at a video and feeling myself, imagining myself, not just a memory, but feeling, abiding in that essence of what comes out in me when I sail. What happens in me? What do I get to experience? I can go in and abide in that place. So try that on for yourself. What are you missing? Which really relates to what is it that are your deep values in life? What do you value? Because something you're missing is going to feel like it's something that you value, that you want more of. And we can create that. And we can abide in that, the sensation, the feeling sensation of that in any time. It's like how we think. So if you imagine, I always use a quart of ice cream. If you imagine that you are eating ice cream, I want you to abide in that experience. Now, all of us can have ice cream. That's the beauty of this particular pandemic. We're not really being taken away from the essential outer nature of things, just choices, obviously. So imagine that you're with that ice cream to the point where you start salivating. You can taste it in your mouth, that caramel, whatever it is. Really let your senses have that. You want to do that with the things that you are missing, so you don't have to miss them. Let yourself feel them with the six senses. As you imagine it, you can create it and you can feel it with your senses, and that takes you into a place of deep abiding in that experience. Now, the other side of the coin is what you don't miss about this time. And really look at that and notice, oh, those are things I don't value. And as we move forward, I'm going to let those things slip away. Easy breezy. That part's easier, isn't it? So let yourself have that and abide in the deeper places in yourself, and be okay about working with older traumas, emotions, purging, whatever you want to call it, that's keeping you from abiding in those deeper places that have such value and meaning to you. So that is our message to you, with you today, in blessing for you being able to take advantage of every moment of your precious life. And if you haven't been to my website or seen my emails about the spring special, Yay Spring, that I'm having and continuing till the end of May, and I've added some things. So not only are there specials on Akashic Record readings, half prices, yay, readings and clearings to really get to those deeper traumas, intuitive counseling for the heart and soul to help you with those deeper places, and coming forth with what it is it truly wants to be brought to you intuitively, what your guidance wants to share with you about what is real and true for you now and moving forward. And also I have added a number of things like working with your intuition, and the newest ones are what I call house clearings and readings for your children. So go on over to the website so you can make your home a sanctuary. You can help your children come into their soul guidance and heart guidance and make the most of this time, your grandchildren as well. And be sure to take care of yourself first and foremost. And give yourself this incredible opportunity of a half price for a reading of whatever it is that matters for you right now. We can bring it forward. We can bring your guides and our collective guides together to assist you to have the resources of all that you need to be all that you are. Blessings of love and abiding in the deepest places of yourself and the generation of the greatest expanse of yourself coming forward at this time. I am so with you, with love.